So the stock market ended up crashing and my portfolio is nearly up 5% on the day. Today was a truly game-changing day to be trading within the stock market, as I had alerted Tesla put options when it was trading at $990 and VRU put options when it was trading at $1490s. Both of these put options were extremely lucrative opportunities, as both of these stocks had a gap close reversal and got absolutely crushed. And my entry was literally towards the low on the price of the put contract options and literally towards the top of the stock. Within this video, I am going to show you the strategy that I'm using to be able to short the top, to be able to buy these put options at the top. Many people make money buying stocks, going long, buying call options. I'm going to teach you the short side, because that is truly what I've mastered and specialize in. I do trade both ways, but I obviously love the put side a lot more. So I'm going to walk you through this strategy, because this strategy is a trend reversal strategy. This is the type of strategy where you can set the trend. Right before that reversal happens, you can set the trend and get in right before that reversal happens and make a very lucrative return, because you are getting in at the top at the best price. It is possible to short these stocks at the top. It is possible to buy these put options at the low. And I'm going to show you how to do it within this video. And I'm also going to give you the updated market analysis in terms of how to trade the best setups at the best prices moving forward, as SPY is now at this key critical 417 make it or break it level. We're also going to be discussing Ader, Tesla, and a couple other stocks on my radar. This is going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices. So let's get right into it. Make sure you smash that like button. Look at these entries. Look at these alerts. Today at 9:33 a.m., I alerted slightly out of the money Tesla put options at $990. I believe these were at the money. I got in at $26. Those contracts went up over $100, over 400% on the day. You could have made it absolutely insane. If you were to go far out of the money, those went up over 1,000%. And then I also bought VRU put options at 10:26 a.m., literally towards the top, just like Tesla when VRU was trading at 1490s. So I'm gonna recap these trades, right? I sold way too soon, so I'm sizing in fairly heavy on these, because these are truly the best setups at the best prices. I'm getting in, I'm getting out, and I'm flipping that profit, and I exceeded my daily goal by over 3 times today. So I'm going to walk you through these trades, going over what I could have done better and how I was able to get such phenomenal entries. I'm going to teach you this strategy. Big shout out to Ninja. He said, thank you for the alert. He ended up going, these people, we got self-sufficient people in here. They're making their own trades. They're choosing their own contracts. Some of them are being a lot more patient, aiming for the bigger win, sizing in small. That's exactly what Ninja ended up doing. He literally turned $12 into $135, making a 1,125% return on Tesla put options. Absolutely amazing. And then this guy is absolutely crushing, man. I remember last week he crushed it. He is now back with the Tesla puts. Once again, he went further out of the money, an 865 put, making a 118% return, or a $4,000 profit, which is 10 times the cost of Trader Society, which is a one-time fee for a lifetime membership, right? That's a limited time only. Eventually, this will be a lot more expensive. Big shout out to this guy. He's absolutely crushing it. He nailed Cliff puts. I believe that was last week. And then he had a great day on VRU and NUTX, making a 9% return on his portfolio. Big shout out to Greg, absolutely crushing it. $4,000 profit, 15% return on the portfolio. He's been absolutely killing it. He ended up trading SPY both ways. We're going to be breaking down everything. Let's get right into this game-changing strategy. It is going to be called the gap close reversal strategy, right? So I'm going to put you onto this. I'm going to walk you through this game. We're using very simple, like 2 simple gap trading strategies to consistently make money within the market. These strategies will get you in at the best entries. This is the type of strategy where we set the trend. We're getting in before people follow the trend. We're trendsetters. That's what makes us different here. And if you pay attention to our entries, you'll realize that we're actually setting the trend. You'll see what I did with VRU today in Tesla. You'll see exactly what it is I'm talking about. So what was the play? What was the strategy on this whole Tesla situation? What was it that made me buy puts at 9:33 a.m., literally at market open towards the low of these contracts? I'm looking at Tesla and I'm saying, okay, there was a gap to fill below at $977.20, which is the best price, where I told people within the watch list from yesterday to buy calls. If you go to the watch list right here and we scroll up to yesterday, I literally said Tesla call options at $977.20 for a push to 1K. As soon as Tesla filled this gap right here, it had a reversal, it shot back up, it hit our price target. Once it hit our price target, guess what happened? It started selling off. Tesla had a gap close reversal right here, meaning the stock gapped down. See how it gaps down? It filled the gap, it bounced, it formed bullish confirmations, it started to go up, started to form higher support, started to break out, which is bullish. Then it has a reversal at this gap close reversal level, which is where you buy and you ride it back up to fill that gap above. Once it fills that gap above, if it reacts as resistance, reacts as a resistance, reacts as a resistance multiple times, failing to break out, pulling back to the 980s, pulling back even lower into the close at 980s. It's having another gap close reversal. Could have bought calls here, could have bought puts here multiple times yesterday and calls yesterday. Traded it back to back, gap close reversals, traded both ways. Here I am today using the exact same strategy. So I'm looking at this chart and I'm looking at the 5-day chart, right? And I'm saying, okay, this is a key make it or break it support level at 977, right? If you go to the daily chart, this is key make it or break it support level right here at $977. What makes that a key level, right? 977. If it cracks, what makes it such a key level? Well, if it cracks, look at the daily chart. Look at the daily chart. This is held up on thin air. Look at this big green candle. If this support level cracks, this 977, it is going to get crushed and go back to the low of this daily candle, which is towards 922. That's a massive pullback, right? So you take the low of that previous day's candle, that's where it's going to be heading if it cracks and turns this 977 into resistance. I'm looking at this channel, right? And you guys remember, this isn't luck. This is a strategy. This is consistency that works. You guys remember when we bought Tesla puts at 1,090 on this day, and absolutely cashed in for a quick 30%. Vic made over a 200% return. Vic traded it again today, made a 300% return. We played the gap close reversal right here on the SPY. So we're looking at this channel, we're saying Tesla's breaking down. It's forming lower highs. It keeps having gap close reversals. Had a gap close reversal right here, had a gap close reversal right here. It's forming lower highs. And we're looking at the chart, right? We're looking at this chart and we're saying that this just had a gap close reversal, filled the gap, shot up to 1,000, and it already dropped to the 980s yesterday, which is very bearish, meaning it is really on track to crack that 976. And once it cracks 976, it falls off a cliff. So you can even consider adding there. So I'm looking at Tesla market open, and it actually has a gap down. Tesla stock actually has a gap down. It fills the gap. You can see as soon as it hits the previous closing price, it fills the gap. And then at 9:33 a.m., that's when I alerted puts. Why did I alert puts? Because it's a gap close reversal, it's breaking down, it's forming lower highs, and then I noticed this bearish doji, this lower high, which is extremely, extremely bearish. And then I quickly locked in profits. I bought these puts when they were at like 993. I quickly locked in profits right here on this green candle when it quickly dropped to 986. One of the reasons why I sold so soon is because I took such a big position size on this trade. Usually when the contracts are a lot more expensive, I'll typically buy more contracts than I needed just because I'm typically not trading contracts priced this high. But these were fairly expensive contracts. But if you went further out of the money, they were very cheap. I went with the 990 strike, which is now deep in the money. I mean, these printed like crazy, and these were like safe contracts. I was buying these at $2,600, $26. You could have went further out of the money, way cheaper. But you could see the 990 strike is now worth $115. I literally alerted these contracts towards the low. If we go back to the alert right here, just look at that close, man. It's absolutely insane. This is the beauty of trading options. Tesla stock went down, what, like 12, 13% or whatever today. Look at what the put options did, 400%. This is why you got to learn how to trade options. The risk to return ratio is just absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, I got in, I got out, I flipped it very, very quick. One thing that I do want to work on, and I noticed is once my account shifted from 5 figures to 6 figures, I noticed once I hit that 6-figure mark that I started locking in profits much sooner. And I started being not as much patience, just because simply there's 2 types of goals. There's a dollar goal and there's a percentage goal. And I've been hitting both of those goals. I could be doing so much better if I'm a little bit more patient on some of these plays. But then there's other times where if I'm not as patient, there's other times where if I aim for a bigger win and I'm more patient, then I give it all back. Like, it's a mix, right? You got to know when to be patient and know when not to. In this situation, this was just such a good situation to be patient. One of the ways to determine that in terms of should I be patient or not on this particular trade, one of the ways is look at all the weakness. You have so much weakness at $1,000, and if it cracks 977, then it's just going to fall off a cliff, right? Because that's what the daily chart says. So due to those reasons, I should have been more patient because it was looking extremely weak. I should have gave it more time. But I did notice one of the reasons why I sold this so soon is because I looked at my P&L percentage-wise, and I'm like, oh my God, I already exceeded my daily goal. It's been 3 minutes. I'm just going to lock in profits and call it. That's one of the reasons, which isn't the most logical reason to get out of a position just because you hit your daily goal. At the end of the day, you want to trade the chart. You don't want to trade your daily goal. You want to trade the chart. In terms of trading your daily goal, when you hit it and then when you feel it's time to get out, then you get out and then you're like, okay, I hit my daily goal for the day. Let me not keep trading and risk giving it back. And if I make another trade, let me make sure that it's a better setup. Let me make sure that I size in less than the previous setup. That way I don't give back all the profit if I'm wrong and go from green to red on the day, right? That's other ways to trade a goal. But there was really no strong logical reason to get out so soon. In terms of me, I just noticed that the reason why I got out so soon is because, like I said, I focused on my P&L. I focused on the percentage return. I'm like, I already exceeded my daily goal. It's been 3 minutes. Let me just get out. You want to find a balance. You don't just want to take big position sizes, get in, get out, hit your daily goal. You don't want to do that. You want to find a good balance between position size and maximizing your percentage win, right? You don't just want to take a much heavier position size just so you can get out quickly to make your goal. That's a different trading style and it can work, but that means you have to cut your losses quickly as you take your profits, right? So you want to find a balance, right? And in terms of that balance, that's something that I'm going to be working more towards on and doing a better job of being more prepared and being more patient on certain particular setups. I mean, this setup did make sense to be patient on, but in terms of no reasons to be selling, it just kept selling off and then it bounced, and you could see when it bounced, it formed lower highs. It turned your previous support, these previous lows into resistance, started breaking down. And if you look at this, it was just a very smooth crash, no reason to be selling, until it started to hit around 930s. 930s, there was some reasons to sell. It started bouncing. It started looking a little bullish right here. Those were some reasons. Excuse me. But if you look at this overall chart, right? This overall chart is showing that every time Tesla bounces, it's turning previous lows into resistance, which is bearish. And there's no reason to be selling in that case scenario. And if you just look at the 1 minute chart, you can see every time it pulls back when it has a small bounce, it's forming lower highs, which is bearish. That means you keep holding. It's forming lower highs. It's failing to go above this previous low. It crashes. It bounces right here. The previous low is right around here, your previous support. I mean, there really wasn't much support at all. And it just keeps forming lower highs. So in terms of reasons to truly sell, like even right here, it had a little bounce and it turned previous support into resistance. It kept falling down, right? So in terms of reasons to really sell, I mean, you could say right around here towards 930s was confirmation to start locking in profits. This was a fairly bullish candlestick. But then again, it's it bounced, but it's turning previous support into resistance still. So still not a solid reason to sell. It's the whole day, the stock literally just kept turning previous support into resistance when it had a small bounce. And the bounces were so very small, so very micro. So that's the mistake that I made on my end. I wasn't trading the chart when I was in the trade. I was trading the chart before I entered the trade. Before I entered the trade, I told myself, I'm going to grab puts. It's having a gap close reversal. This looks great. When I entered the trade, I threw the chart out the window. 3 minutes later, it sells off like a rock. It drops 10 points in a couple minutes. And then I'm saying, wow, I exceeded my daily goal. I'm looking at my P&L. I'm so happy. And then I'm just said, okay, I'm going to lock in profits. I did not trade the chart when I was in the trade. That was the issue with the exit on this. But a lot of my students recognize that, and this is why you have to be self-sufficient, because no one is going to trade perfectly. But one thing I can assure you is I will try my best, and what I've really mastered is that preparation, is understanding where the best entry is. The entries were just so phenomenal. That's one thing I could really help assist you on. So I'm going to work on being more patient in trading the chart, because to be honest, guys, there was really no reason to sell Tesla put options until it dropped to about 940, 930, like 5. There was really no reason if you were trading the chart. As traders, as we're in a trade, things are going to happen that can cause emotions. And if you look at your P&L and you focus on other things, you're going to stop trading the chart, and you want to focus on trading the chart, right? So that's the mistake I made. Now, in terms of VRU put options, what was the play on this? Why did I buy puts in the 1490s right here at $10? Let me show you. This is my second trade for today. 10:26 a.m. I bought VRU put options, and then at 10:39 a.m., just 13 minutes later, sold half for 28%. And then I sold the rest for 25%. It's a good thing I got out because it went back to my initial entry, but then it dropped even lower. So you could have traded it twice. Absolutely phenomenal opportunity back to back on that. Excuse me, guys. I'm still a little sick. I still have this cough. It's just not going away. It's been like over 2 weeks. Absolutely insane. But anyways, VRU put options. If you watched my previous video, I told you guys, best price to buy puts on stocks is the highest gap to fill above. If you look at VRU, this is literally like the highest gap to fill above, and it's got huge downside potential. You could see right here, it went from 1495 all the way down to 1155, right? Oh my gosh, I'm starting to lose my voice. So it went from 1495 all the way down to 1195. I'm gonna try to talk smaller. I'm gonna try to talk slower because my voice is just like dying out here. My throat is like tickling it. But anyways, it went from 1495 all the way down to 1155. Massive pullback. There's a gap to fill at 1495. So if the stock reacts as a resistance level at 1495, you buy the puts. So I'm looking at the chart and I'm saying, okay, it's breaking out. There's no reason to buy in puts. It's breaking out. It's forming higher support. It keeps on breaking out. But you wait for the backside of the move. If the backside of the move occurs and it starts going below 1495 and turning into resistance right here, this is the backside. Your support is here. It breaks out. It goes back to your support. It starts breaking down. It starts forming lower highs. It's no longer forming higher support. It's no longer turning your previous high into a support level. What it's doing is it's starting to break down. It's starting to turn your support into a resistance level right here. See your support, now it's turned to resistance, starting to break down. When you see that, you play the puts. That's the backside of the move. So I was using the gap close reversal strategy, just like I used on Tesla stock, same exact strategy. And then I was playing on the stock for it to go down, right? So 1495, I told myself I'm gonna wait for the backside. I'm gonna wait for this to react as a resistance. Right here, it wasn't reacting as resistance. It had a little pullback, but it formed higher support. Ripped back up, higher support, ripped up to a new high. Right here, when I got in at 10:26 a.m., it was trying to break down. It was trying to form lower highs. And then as soon as I got in, it started breaking down and sold off very, very nicely. So I told myself, that's what you got to do. The gap close reversal strategy, guys. That is the strategy. Use bearish confirmations, trade the chart, trade the candlesticks, focus on the volume. This is what you got to do. You got to be trading the chart. So my target on this was right towards the previous closing price at 1409. Once I noticed it started bouncing and holding up at the previous closing price, I told myself, you know what? I got to get out. I got to play it safe. So I stuck to the plan. I stuck to my price target. These printed, they went up 25%. On the day, I went with the 14.5 out of money strike, which became much deeper in the money when I got out, and then also later on throughout the day. But as you can see, it may have dropped much lower where I got out. But if you take a look, I got out right here in the 1406 for a 25% return. That's where I alerted my sell. Just 13 minutes later, I made a 28% and a 25% return. 10:39 and 10:46 a.m. You can see it dropped a little bit lower, went to 1376, but then guess what happened? It ripped back up all the way to 1478. And those puts that I bought with this massive rip here, nearly at my initial entry, I bought the puts when it was in the 1490s, so a little lower, but theta decay and then also the quick rip, right? Those puts that I bought were at my initial entry. So I would have had to give back all of my profits, go break even on the trade to make a bigger win. And that's something I don't want to do. So when I see higher support is attempting to form and it's looking bullish, I lock in my profits. If I want, I can leave like 20%, 30% on for a bigger size, and then I play it safe, right? And then you can always get back in. If it rips, you can get back in, or you can add more if you're holding some light size, right? And then it ended up dropping lower. The puts absolutely printed. I alerted the 14.5 strike at $1.20. They went above $2, I believe. Let me double check that. I think they went over $2. Yeah, so I alerted these literally right here towards the lows at 120s. They shot up to 170s within like 10 minutes. I mean, just look at how perfect. Look at how perfect this entry was. 10:26 a.m. VRU put options. Literally right here, 10:26 a.m. If we go to the 1 minute chart, the low on these was at 10:19. That was at 115. I bought these at 120 right here. Got in at 120. Just 10 minutes later, just like 15 minutes later, they shoot up to 170. I got out for a 25% return. I was selling right around here before this last little rip. Remember that last dip it had? And then look, they dropped back all the way to $1.30, nearly at my initial entry. And then they ripped higher, $2. Two opportunities to play it back-to-back gap close reversal. So if you see that stock rip back up to that key gap close reversal level, which was 1495, you see it rip back up around there and it starts forming resistance, it starts breaking down, you can get back in on the puts and play it twice. That's something you could have done. So that was the recap on VERU and Tesla. Let's get into the best setups at the best prices now. Shout out to those of you who stay to the end of these videos. I'm gonna reward you with the best setups, right? So right here, Ader stock is looking bearish. We were waiting to buy puts right here at 585. There was a little gap to fill at 585. The high was 578. It partially filled the gap, had a reversal. It happens. You can see right here, it partially filled the gap, came back down to the previous closing price, filled this gap, then it had a reversal once it started to fill the gap. Look at the low of the Ader. Beautiful dragonfly doji. If you see this candlestick, if the stock has a massive pullback and it's at a key support level or a key gap close reversal level and it forms this bullish doji, this dragonfly doji, that is the best trend reversal confirmation you can use to set the trend and then to buy the stock. I mean, just look at this gray candle here, and then another dragonfly doji nearly forms right here twice, then it rips up. It's a very bullish candlestick. So if you see that at support, you know when to lock in profits, and you also know when to potentially buy calls if it's at a key gap close reversal level or a key support level on the daily chart, right? So the plan is simple. Puts at 588, puts at 585, calls at 385. Look to make about 40-50 cents profit per share. Lock in your profits, get out of the options, go with the contracts that are closest to at the money. That's the game plan. So calls at 385. The stock will go down to 385. Give it time. Hopefully it rips to 580s so we can buy puts. Very bearish on this particular stock for the micro. So that's the game plan to trade it both ways. Now, in terms of NKTX, had a massive gap up. Today was the first red day. It sold off pretty hard. What we're waiting for is, and it is attempting to do this, which is great. It's going to be a great trading opportunity, so be ready for this one. We're looking to buy puts. Right now, it had a massive gap down today, the first red day. Once it goes back to 1872, if it can react as a resistance level, start to break down, I'm going to look to buy puts at 1872. Remember, I'm giving you the best prices. And, when we're trading these gap close reversal levels on puts, we're looking for that move where it goes, it goes green on this previous closing price, then it goes red. And then once it goes back red and looks bearish, we get back in on that red-sided move, right? So if it goes against us and it goes from red to green, we quickly get out. So we're getting at this blue line, and if it starts to go against us, if this blue line turns into a support level and we have puts, we get out, we cut it quickly, right? Very small loss. And then when we're right, it's a huge profit margin. This is a huge profit margin because when we're right, it's a trend reversal strategy. It's a gap close reversal strategy. And then same thing with calls. If we buy calls, we're getting in towards the blue line. If it cracks and reacts as a resistance, we're getting out, we're cutting the loss quickly. We can always change sides and we can always get back in, right? Because it might react the way we want it to after we get out, so we can get back in, right? So NKTX 1872, ride it back down to about $17.50, $17 a share. That's the game plan. I'm waiting for the 1872 gap close reversal. That should be a decent one. In terms of other updates, SPY. We got to talk about SPY. So right now, last time I checked, SPY was having a little move up during extended hours trading. You could see it dropped all the way to $413 during after hours. Right now during extended hours trading, during futures, it is up, trading at 417.60. So the plan for SPY was to buy calls at $417. It never hit that price in terms of normal trading hours. You could see in normal trading hours today, it did go to 416.07, but there was never really a bullish confirmation at 417. So it did hit that price, but there wasn't a strong enough bullish confirmation to be buying calls. Like you could see it had a small little bounce right here when it hit 417.11, but it still didn't hit 417. You got to wait for the gap to fill, right? So there was no reason to be buying SPY calls at 417 today because there was no bullish confirmation and the stock was closing weak at the lows. You don't buy into a daily falling knife like this. You wait until it looks bullish on the chart, right? And it never looked bullish in terms of when it hit 417 today. So there was no reason to be buying the call options for the SPY today. So what we're doing is when it cracks that key level like it did where we want to buy at, because we've been wanting to buy SPY calls at 417, when it cracks that, we just wait for it to react bullish, right? So that's what we got to do. So here's the deal. It closed at 416.10. That is going to be the new best price. So here's what I want you to think of. I want you to think is 416.10 the new best price to buy SPY calls, but I want you to think of SPY calls at 417 as well. So the buying zone is between 416.10, which is the new best price, and $417. If it looks bullish and we get strong bullish confirmations, if we are green tomorrow, then the play is going to be to buy SPY calls. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the first green day. I'm just waiting for 416.10 gap to fill or for 417 to look bullish. Heading in tomorrow, that will be determined. If it looks bullish, I will look to buy calls in terms of has SPY bottomed out. If the SPY cracks 416.10, it has not bottomed out and it will be on track to go to crash to right around here, which is going to be 415 to 413. So if the SPY cracks 416, it'll be on track for 413 to 415. If it holds up above 416 to 417, looks bullish, it will rocket, it will have its reversal, and it will start to shoot back up to the mid 420s. We have a gap to fill 428.51. If the SPY can bottom out towards 416.10 to 417 look bullish, it will start to try to fill this gap, right? So the game plan is to buy calls if we get the bullish confirmations. Best level 416.10, and then the higher level 417, right? So if we look bullish, if we look strong, once we have a green day on the SPY, I will look to buy calls in between 416.10 to 417. I'm waiting for the first green day. That's really what I'm waiting for, the first green day, right? So yeah, if it goes under 416, I'm not interested in puts. I don't want to chase it. This is an overreaction, but it will be on track to go to 415 to 413 if 416 cracks. Just know if you are in calls, you do not want to hold calls below 416. I will say that. Unless you're in like some macro stuff, some longer term stuff, and you're in the money, then that can be okay if you're willing to risk it. But I do not recommend holding calls below 416 because it will really start to have that nice sell-off. So in terms of how does the daily chart look though? Well, we still have this falling knife. We got this falling knife on the SPY, right? So that doesn't look bullish at all. It couldn't even hold up from this strong bullish candlestick yesterday, which I found surprising, but it has been trying to fill the gap at 416.17. So it did manage to do that, right? So in terms of how does this look? It looks like we just got to wait for the first green day. We can't go trying to catch a falling knife. So SPY is currently gapping up during extended hours, which is bullish. The best thing you could do when a stock gaps up and you want to buy it, instead of buying into the gap and go chasing it, best thing you could do is wait for it to go back down, hopefully in the morning within the first 30 minutes for a quick gap close reversal. There's going to be a gap to fill below because SPY is currently gapping up right now at 416.10. That's the best way to play it. Same thing with puts. If you want to short a stock and it gaps down on the first red day and you want to short buy puts for the first red day, best entry is the previous closing price. So always remember that. First green day, you want to buy for the gap and go. Forget the gap and go. Trade the gap close reversal. Wait for it to go back down to the previous closing price. If it doesn't go, then don't trade it. Works both ways for puts too. If a stock gaps down, right? So if stock gaps down, you want to buy puts, wait for it to go back to the previous closing price. Like for SPY, 428.51, best price for puts. For calls, 416.10. That's my thoughts. That's my analysis on SPY. I do not recommend chasing puts. I mean, this is an overreaction. Like, we're talking about a move from $450 to $416 in 4 days. There will come a point, like yesterday, where we're going to see that major reversal, and all the people chasing puts who were greedy and decide to hold through and not cut their losses quickly, knowing that they have such a shit entry, will give back a lot of profits and will take a bigger loss. So just keep that in mind, and just remember, so we got a lot of strong support in between 417 to 413, even 411. Don't go chasing puts. In terms of calls, we got to wait for the first green day. We got to wait for a strong confirmation, ideally at 416.10. That's the best way to play it in terms of calls from here. 416.10 is the best way to play it. If it bounces off that, buy the calls. If you want, you could attempt 417. It's got to look bullish, though. It's got to look strong. It's got to look bullish. That's my thoughts. That's the analysis on the SPY. In terms of puts, I'm waiting for 428.51 to buy puts. That is when you buy puts. Look at this, man. It went from 428.70 to 416 just 1 day later. And it dropped to 413 during after hours. So it'd be a great opportunity if we could buy puts at 428.51. That would be the middle opportunity, which is going to be a great trade. And then also the best price would be 438.06. We got some gaps to fill above, and these gaps will fill over time. So 438.06 would be the best price. Also interested in buying puts at 428.51. Those are the best key price levels that I'm waiting for puts, which are resistance levels or previous support levels that should react as a resistance level due to the massive sell-off with the SPY. So that is the game plan for the SPY, keeping it very, very simple. In terms of other setups, really not interested in trading anything else. I'm just really not. So we got ADR, 585 puts, 385 calls. We have SPY. We discussed the calls at 416.10, best thing to do. You can attempt 417. It looks very bullish. So those were the top two. And then we got NKTX. I'm waiting for 1872, gap close reversal. Same simple strategy that we're using to consistently make money within the market, like we did on VRU and Tesla today. Absolutely insane. And then Tesla, this is what I'm hoping for. Within time, it should happen too. So we have a gap to fill, and we have very strong support at $801, right? If it cracks 801, then it goes to 770, not the biggest pullback. So in terms of Tesla, I'm looking to buy calls right here. There's a mini gap to fill, a small one at 801.89. That's where I want to buy Tesla calls. That's what I'm waiting for. I want to buy Tesla calls at 801. That's the game plan for Tesla call options. I'm waiting till $801 to be exact. The key level is 801.89. So you just have to understand, guys, look at these opportunities. You could have bought Tesla calls off the watch list at 977. This was the low. We literally, the watch list prepared people to buy call options. I mean, just look at this. I alerted puts right here, made 35%, sold too soon. Vic made a 200% return, right? And then I told people, you want to buy calls? Buy calls at 977.22. The low of day was 975. I told them, where do you lock in profits? $1,000. It tops out at $1,000. And then I told people in the chat yesterday, in the main chat, I said, 1,000 just filled the gap. It looks bearish. You can try playing puts. Another gap close reversal, another gap close reversal. Sold off 20 points. Could have made a very nice percentage return. Trading both ways on Tesla. And then today, phenomenal put option opportunity using the gap close reversal strategy. You guys realize within 5 days, there was a gap close reversal put opportunity where you could have made a fortune here from $1,092 all the way down to $1,000. There was a great call option opportunity right here for the gap close reversal strategy where you could have made a very nice 100% plus return. There was a great put option opportunity right here twice where Tesla drops 10, 20 plus points. And then even today, another gap close reversal opportunity. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities. 5 gap close reversals within the past 4 trading days of Tesla. And 2 of those opportunities, if you were to play puts, were game changing. They were game changing if you were patient. Vic made over a 300% return today. He's the one who made a 200% return on this day. Like, I'm telling you, I got students who are trading a lot better than me, man. I'm telling you, it's absolutely insane how well they're traded, but I'm pointing them in the right direction. We're using this gap close reversal strategy. Our entries are the best in the game. We're setting the trend, man. It literally said puts here. You can look to buy calls here. Puts here, puts here. Like, it's the best prices possible. I'm getting people in at the best prices possible. So those are going to be the updated price action analysis. That's what we're waiting for. There's been so much lucrative opportunities, and there's going to be much more to come. I got these price alerts set. I'm waiting for the new key levels, and we got some great plays, great opportunities coming up, especially with the SPY. So that is going to wrap up this market updated analysis, the new best setups to trade at the best prices. If you do want to join Trader Society, it is going to be the first link down below in the description. Once you join Trader Society, you get instant lifetime access to everything listed on the page down below, the first link in the description, such as the live trading sessions that we do every single day at Market Open, the daily stock analysis, the real-time stock analysis in the pre-market and during trading hours, right? The pre-market watch list that is going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices with the new updated price action analysis. It goes over the reactions. Say we're interested in a play, say you like some plays within this video, right? It's going to give you the real-time analysis. Okay, the stock just hit our key level. It's reacting bullish. Let's buy. It's reacting bearish. Let's buy puts. It's not reacting the way we want it to. Let's reset the price alert and wait for the confirmation, wait for the reaction we're looking for, right? It's going to give you that real-time update when these price alerts, when these plays trigger. And then the real-time trade alerts is going to give you the real-time entry and the real-time exit, right? You also get access to the chat room and to the members within the chat room. We have so many great members within the chat room who are consistently crushing it on a weekly basis, doing very, very well, compounding their portfolios, right? So you get access to the chat room, to the members within the chat room. You can add us as a friend on the Discord server, and you can contact us one-on-one and in the group chat as well. During the live trading streams, you get to watch me trade live, see my portfolio live, watch us trade live, and you get to ask us questions live on the spot during the stream. You also get access to the video lesson library, where you're going to actually learn how to trade the gap trading strategies on your own. You'll learn everything it is that I know about trading the charts, trading the price action, the strategies, the patterns that I'm using to consistently make money within the market, how to create your own trading plan, when to enter, when to exit, where to set your stop loss, where to set your price target, how to create your trading plan, how to find these stocks, how to trade the best setups at the best prices. That's where you'll learn how to be self-sufficient, along with watching the daily live trading streams, and you get access to the recordings of these live trading streams as well, so you can go back and watch them. There's a lot more to it. You'll also learn risk management, position sizing, mindset, and psychology. Everything is explained in that first link down below in the description. As soon as you join, you get instant lifetime access. I'm telling you guys, now's the best time to join. The market is on fire, and there's so much opportunity to be trading both ways. Every single week, we're looking to nail like 2 to 3 great trades, and we're already into we're only 2 days into the week, and we already nailed Tesla and VRU. That's 2 phenomenal trades, and it's only Tuesday, and we have SPY coming up, and we have some other good setups coming up like NKTX and ADER and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to working with you within Trader Society. I will see you in on the inside, and I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.